We'll give everybody a minute to hop on. Hopefully people are getting notices. So I wanted to jump in and do this. We're going to be live here for the next 3 days at 1 o'clock because I've had a lot of new people join. So as you jump on this live, say hello, let me know you're here. Even if you don't want to do a lot of comments, if one person says hello, then I know the comments are working. So then if I don't see it, then I'm like, oh no, I don't see anything. Eventually Facebook tells me that I have comments, but not always. So I wanted to do this because I have a lot of new people in the group, and I have a lot of desire to really get back into doing this group often because there's a lot of power and a lot of healing that can happen in here. Oh good, yay, comments are working, hello. Okay, so here's what's going to happen for the next 3 days. So today I'm going to talk specifically about what body mapping is and how you can use it in your life. Tomorrow I'm going to focus more on breath work. And then day 3, we're going to do a live breath session, and I want to open it up for more of a question and answer. So while we're on the live, if you have a question about a body part or question about something that you want to know specifically about body mapping, that's where I'm going to go into those. So usually when I do something like this, it's at a multiple day, 8 hours a day class. And I'm actually wanting to do a live in-person class up in the Salt Lake area. And I just haven't found a venue yet, but I'm getting antsy and I wanted to teach this. So I was like, let's do a Facebook Live then. So this will be really good, valuable information, but it's also a little bit of a preview because I want to do an in-person one. So who am I? What is body mapping? Why be part of this group? How can this help you in any part of your life? Because the first thing that I actually want to recognize is that I honor the fact that of all of the Facebook groups you're in, of all of the social media that's screaming for your attention, of all of the different ways that you could share your time and your information, your energy, you're choosing right now to share it with me, so thank you. And because of that, I want to honor your time, but more importantly, I want to honor that you will get something valuable out of this, because that's important to me, to not waste any part of your time, any part of your day. So hopefully this will have a lot of not just information for you, but usable content. Hey, Taylor. Okay, so let's see. So excited for this. I love learning. Oh, thank you, Shamri. So for those who have not met me, this is the other thing I thought is funny. I have a lot of people in this group that are like, hey, my friend added me to this group and I don't even know what it is. So my name is Laurel Huston. I am the creator of body mapping, and I'll get more into that in just a minute. And I also am the Divine Feminine Enchantress. I specialize in teaching women about masculine and feminine energy, how to balance that, how to heal that. And one of the ways I do that is through body mapping. Body mapping is a modality that I created. And one of the biggest questions I get asked is, what do you mean you created it? Well, I took 20 years of experience and a lot of my own personal questions, a lot of my own personal journey of trying to figure out who I am, change the relationship with my body, and then that led into changing my relationship with money and with people I love, changing my relationship with intimacy. I really, honestly, was just looking for a way to heal. Not just heal my outside, but heal my inside. And I don't know, can any of you relate to that? If that makes sense, let me know in the chat, because I know I am not the only woman who has looked at her life and been like, I've got a good life, but, and then she has a list of things with her money or her body or intimacy that she wants changed. And that really is what started my journey on this. The way it was, so that was what it was like, okay, I need to find a way to heal. What got compiled was a whole bunch of random things. So I have 2 degrees, one in psychology, one in communication, with a minor in human development. So in college, I basically just studied people and found out how crazy we all are. Then through different avenues of adventures and things, I was a cosmetologist. I have taught anatomy and physiology at the college level, plus my degree. And then I got introduced to the woo-woo world through the gateway drug called essential oils. So I was introduced to essential oils, and then I was introduced to energy work, and then I was introduced to a whole bunch of different modalities. And the beautiful thing is, and this is not to demean any other modality of healing, I found that there wasn't one modality that answered all my questions. And so I just started searching. And part of it was when I had my oldest daughter. I was studying body language at the time. And I went, okay, but body language is something that comes from your head. And so that's a mindset thing. So yes, I can do mind work and mindset all day long, but there are still certain things that changing my mindset won't change. And I'll get into that a little bit later. And then it was like, okay, so anatomy and physiology teaches me why my genetics gave me blue eyes and brown hair, but why out of all my genetic code did my divine reflection say, make her look like this? And I'm one of 8 kids. And that is something that for me, I wanted to know why I looked the way I looked. Have you guys ever thought that before? You know, why do I have this color? Why do I have freckles? Why do I have red hair, black hair? Why do I have brown eyes instead of green eyes? Because here's a cool thing about genetic code. Out of all of your billions of line of code, only 15% of your genetic code is actually expressed in your physical appearance. So what that means, Taylor, you're awesome. So what that means is that out of the billions of line of code, 15% of that code created your appearance, and 85% of it is stored in your body, called epigenetics. Well, I wanted to know, well, why did that 15% out of all the choices, why did I end up with that? Now, just a little, not to list off all my credentials, I've actually taken a breeds and breeding class. I'm very familiar with genetics. I'm very familiar with the statistical anomalies, with incomplete dominances, with the percentage of people that have mutations. I can go that route. It's just boring, so I don't on these classes. But my question initially was, why do I look the way I look, and does it mean something? So that's why I created body mapping. And as a parent, there are times when I have said, oh, I wish you would have come with a manual. And none of us came with a manual, but we all came with a map. And that map is on your body. Every part of your body measures another part of your body. So when part of your body is in proportion versus out of proportion, there's a reason. And it's not good or bad or right or wrong. It just is information. And so I'm going to get into more of body mapping, but before I get into that, I want to tell you why I teach it. When I first started teaching body mapping, it really was about building more confidence. It really was about teaching women to love who they are inside and out. That's literally why my company is called Reflections Inside and Out. I wanted you to learn to love who you are inside and out. And the more that I changed my relationship with my body, the more I realized I wasn't the only one. How many times have you wanted a different relationship with your body? How many times have you looked at a part or a piece of you and said, I wished you were different? And whether that was because of life choices or circumstances, it doesn't, whether it was weight gain, weight loss, you nursed multiple babies and so your boobs used to be up here and now they're down here. Whether it was, I wish I was taller. I'm the shortest. Right now, my daughter and I laugh because we both know I will be the shortest one in my family. All of my children are going to be taller than me. My husband's a foot taller than me. So there are times when we say things like, I wish this were different. And that is actually, that's what started me into body mapping, but that really is kind of the surface of it. Because that's a lot of mindset. And as much as I love mindset, here's another kind of deep content tip for you. Mindset is important. But one of the reasons why mindset will fail you in some of the most critical times when it's needed is because mindset is in the prefrontal cortex. where choice is. Trauma is in the back of the brain. And so mindset is important, but mindset only works when you are not having a trauma response, when you are not emotionally activated, when you are not in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So please, please stop shaming yourself or thinking that mindset isn't working, because when you were in a highly emotional state, your declaration of my words matter, it's easy for me to speak, and you lost your words. Because that declaration of my words matter was housed here, and your trauma response of no one listens to me is back here. Okay? So mindset is important. But mindset only works when you are in a state of homeostasis. This is why you can have all these beautiful declarations in the morning when you're in a good space, and then you leave the house and you're yelling at your kids, and all of a sudden you don't have declarations and you've got an eye twitch instead. It's because you're in trauma response and you're not using the front portion of your brain. So mindset is important. Body set is a tool that helps you go from back of the brain to the front of the brain. And so yes, I teach body mapping because I want you to look at your body and love it. I want you to have a relationship with your body like you have never had before. That you can feel good in the clothes you wear, regardless of the size they are, regardless of the shape or age you are. Yes, that is a key component to body mapping, and I want that for you. I also want you to be able to heal emotionally. And if you hate your body, you do not listen to your body. And when your body says, we are afraid right now, we think we are going to die right now, your brain may not agree. So there are times when your brain says, oh, this is horrible, I can't believe you're doing this. And your body's like, we're fine. We're actually very calm and peaceful right now. And there are other times where your brain is like, we've lived through this before. I know all those to-dos seem like a lot, but we can handle it. And your body is like, oh my gosh, all I want to do is take a nap. We are so tired. We are so worn out. So as important as mindset is, body set and communicating and listening to the language of your body is actually far more important, because your body is going to tell you when it is actually in fear, when it is actually in anxiety, even because your head can put your body into anxiety, but it didn't start there. And so when you have a new relationship with your body, you actually understand what state you're in, as in physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual state, easier, faster. Okay, third reason why I love body mapping. Gotta get a drink. When you are connected to your body, you are far more connected to your spiritual gifts. I'm going to say that again. When you are connected to your body, you are far more connected to your spiritual gifts. And this is why. Spirit speaks through sensation, not thought. A lot of times when people teach about chakras and meridians and spiritual things, they talk about your third eye being intuition. Your third eye is discernment. It's taking the information and deciphering it. True inspiration speaks to the gut or to the heart. It is a physical sensation that happens within your body. And when you are detached from your body, you are less aware of the spiritual presence that is trying to guide you. Now, don't get stuck on my word. Whether I say God, source, universe, creator, goddess, I don't care what word you use. There is a higher spiritual realm that we have a soul that likes to connect. And our soul speaks to us through our body's sensations. And if you hate your body, you didn't just disconnect from your body, you also disconnected from your spirit. And it makes it confusing because your head has doubt and your head is looking for evidence. So when you are being guided to have really beautiful, inspired action, and you had this gut instinct to take action on that, and you're like, okay, yes, I'm doing this. I just feel that this is the right thing to do. And then you let your head take over. And your head goes, that doesn't even make sense. We asked for more money. Why are you cleaning out your closet? That's not going to get emails sent out. So your head will talk you out of inspiration if you do not trust your body and understand your physical sensations. So when I first started, yes, body mapping was love your body, love your appearance, take care of yourself. You're worth taking care of. I love self-care. That message has not changed. I have, however, added to it. Love your body. Learn to listen to the language of your body. And third, spirit speaks through your body. And if you want a deep connection to source, that happens through the body, not through the mind. So there are multiple ways that body mapping teaches these three things. So number one, learn to love your body. These are things like learning about your physical features, what blue eyes mean. People with blue eyes literally see the world differently than people with brown eyes. People with brown eyes see the world differently than people with green eyes. And I'm not going to go deep into all of those conversations because I looked right before I did this. There are 72 live videos in this free course that teach you that. So go find the video on eyes if you want more information on that. But what is interesting is, okay, if you know that if you have a certain shape to your body, that's your ability to be flexible, to go with the flow, versus you're very, what's the word I want to use? We're going to say tenacious, stubborn, in your ways. You're less flexible. You're going to stay more in your path. If you know that about the shape of your body, can you honor and appreciate the shape of your body a little bit more? If you know why your arms are the length that they are, because your arms are your ability to reach out and connect to people, then yes, it's frustrating to buy clothes because all your sleeves are too short, but can you love how many people you've gathered into your world? So the external part of body mapping is saying your eyes are this shape, your nose is this shape, it tells me this about money, your collarbone means this, your thighs mean this, your knees mean this, based on their size, their shape, their color, their proportions, all of those different things. It's to help you see your body in a different way. And if that's all you learn from body mapping, that's huge. I'm not diminishing that at all. If your reason for wanting to learn about body mapping and wanting to be in this group is because you're like, I just want to not hate my body when I look at it. Beautiful. Learn the meanings behind your parts and pieces. Start to understand what your divine reflection is, because like I said before, none of us came with a map or a manual, but we all came with a map. And you are your map to understanding your purpose and your direction. And it's beautiful, ladies. It is absolutely beautiful that we can do this. The second part of this is learning the language of your body, which is different than body language. Body language are micro expressions. They're when someone comes to your house that you weren't expecting you to say, oh my gosh, hi, come on in. And your mind is saying, no, 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 no. So your hand expresses that even though your words say, sure, come on in. Okay, that's body language. That is your body expressing the leftover words in your brain. It's expressing what's in your subconscious. That's what comes out through body language. The language of your body are the messages that your spirit is trying to get you to hear. It's the messages that your body says, if you did this, we would work and more properly. We would be more functionally in alignment. And so things like symptoms, those are just messages. Symptoms are not good or bad or right or wrong or better or worse or positive or negative. They're just messages. And what you do with the information that that message gives you is actually what then determines whether or not it's positive or negative, good or bad, right or wrong. If you lose your voice and you then stop talking, and then in your head you say, see, no one listens to me. There's no point in me talking anyways. It's okay that I lost my voice. You will take longer to heal because you're reiterating, see, it doesn't matter if anyone listens to me anyways. Versus, oh, I lost my voice. What do I not feel safe to express? What angry words am I holding in here because I don't like confrontation? So those are messages from the body. Those are the language of the body, not body language. And the beautiful part about this second part of this is that when you start to understand that your body has messages for you, you start to rebuild trust. Have any of you had a relationship that you felt betrayed in? Maybe a spouse, a teacher, a friend, a parent. I know I cannot be the only woman who has ever felt betrayed. The peace in my life that helped me forgive those that have betrayed me was when I stopped betraying myself. And when I stopped betraying myself and I started listening to my body's needs, I was able to recognize how many other people were actually trying to rebuild trust with me. And it was safe to rebuild trust with them. Now, are there people in my life that I was like, nope, I'm done? You bet. And there is. And the thing is had I listened to the language of my body, my gut told me in the beginning, be careful of them. And so now honoring those sensations, decoding those sensations in my body is helping me to rebuild trust with myself. And the more trust I build with myself, the more I feel like it is safe to feel, the more I feel like it is safe to heal. And that is what I've been working on. And that is what I have literally helped thousands of women do in the last 10 years. Okay, so let's talk about the third reason why I love body mapping. Because this was a byproduct that, I'll be totally honest, when I first started teaching body mapping, I was not aware of what I'm about to tell you. I really was just, okay, I had just had my first baby and my body was different and I hated it. I hated it before, but now I thought it was disgusting. And so really my goal, in fact, when I first started working with women, I called myself a confidence coach. I just wanted women to have confidence in their body again. I wanted women to have confidence in their voice, to be able to express their needs. And then as I healed my relationship with my body, it changed my relationship with my husband, because he was no longer required to love my body more than I did. And when I loved my body, I didn't care whether or not he loved my body. I didn't need him to justify my worthiness, my sexiness, my desirability. None of that was now a requirement of him. It was now a bonus. My husband's compliments became my overflow. How would it be for you if you loved your body and you listened to your body so much that other people's opinions no longer had authority over you? That you didn't need that compliment to know that you could wear the outfit. The more that I loved my body, the less pressure I put on my husband to make me feel loved. And the beautiful part about that is it healed a huge part of our relationship with each other. So me changing my relationship with my body changed my relationship with my husband and completely changed our intimate dynamics in a very beautiful way. And one of the beautiful things about it was I was able to recognize when I was having past trauma surface in the present moment. And I could now say, oh my gosh, this isn't even an issue I had with my husband. This is an issue that I had with my previous boyfriend when I was 18 years old. Because my body helped me remember that, not my head. My head hid it from me. My head was like, oh yeah, we didn't think we were going to survive that amount of rejection, so we're just going to pretend like it never happened. But every time any other man in your life makes you feel rejected, we will hate them, and you're going to think you're dying. So you're welcome. I'm going to keep you alive and hide you from rejection. And what it did was hide me from my husband. What it did was hide me from myself. So body mapping really helped me to understand what it was my body was trying to tell me, whether it was through a symptom, through losing my voice, through having acne, through stretch marks, through weight gain, through achy knees, through all of those different things. Now, before you think too hard about this, when I talk about symptoms and messages in the body, if it fits, don't overthink it. If you get in a car accident and you are in such an accident that the seat belt is pulled out of the frame of the car and you therefore broke your collarbone, does that fit? Yes, it fits. So would I do body map and be like, why did you break your collarbone? No, you had mass amounts of pressure on a very fragile bone. It makes sense that it broke. What if 6 to 8 weeks later, when a bone has completely remodeled, you're still having symptoms of pain, of pressure, of soreness, of other issues? What emotion are you not processing? What about that injury do you still need to work through? A virus causes a cold. I'm not denying that in any way, shape, or form. But if I make out with my husband and I get a stuffy nose and he loses his voice and has a cough, that doesn't mean I was physiologically healthier than him. It means my give and receive cycle and my money flow is off, and that's why my nose got stuffy, where he's coughing because he no longer is feeling joy. He feels congested in life and is trying to remove that congestion in his body. Taylor said, oh, there's some unprocessed past trauma there for me. My body just told me. And this is exactly, and here's one tip that I would say to this. As I mention things, if your body is like, she's speaking to me. Are you listening? She's talking to us. Those physical sensations don't ever stop. We just stop listening. So if your body just told you something, rather than go into a story about what it means about you, oh my gosh, I have trauma. And I'm not saying this is what Taylor did. I know Taylor very well. I know she did not do this, but I'm just giving an example. Oh my gosh, I have unprocessed emotions. I have trauma there. What does that mean about me? That means that I haven't healed. This means I'm still broken. This means I'm still damaged. That's what actually keeps the emotion unprocessed. Can you just say, I have unprocessed emotions that I'm holding there. Taylor says, oh, I have a shoulder issue. I'm having that. Doesn't make sense physically. Okay. So rather than try to be like, oh, I thought that it was my collarbone and now it's my shoulder, and oh, now I have stabbing pain under my shoulder blade and my hips are starting to ache. Because your body went, she's listening. What else can we tell her? Your body loves to be heard. And if you don't listen to your body through pleasure, then your body will speak to you through pain. Let me say that again. If you don't listen to your body in pleasure, then your body will speak to you in pain. You actually, a human body, especially a woman's body, has more pleasure receptors in her body than pain receptors in her body. But we have trained our body that we ignore it unless we're hurting, unless we're achy, unless we're sore, unless we're tight, unless we're irritated. So if you start listening to your body when it whispers to you, it will scream at you less and less each day. But when you discover these things about your body, that's LOL, it's communicating lots of things now. It's because it's like, oh, she's listening, she's paying attention. So when you are able to start listening to these without judgment, or stories. Don't make your pain mean something about you as a person. What does it mean about an experience you went through? I'm going to say that again. Stop making, because this is why you shut your messages down in the first place, because your body gave you a message like, I'm hungry, and you created a story about, I have no willpower. If I were just more disciplined, I can't eat that because I'll binge. If you created a story about your identity based on a physiological response, and your head didn't like that story, that's why you stopped listening to the physiological response in the first place. So the less of shame and a story you create around the sensations, and you just come from curiosity, call it compassionate curiosity or looking from neutral. If you just go, I'm hungry. What does that actually mean? It means my body is craving energy, nutrients, and I should probably eat something. It doesn't mean that I am being cruel to my body and starving it. It doesn't mean that I'm going to binge when I walk into the kitchen. It means, I'm hungry. My body is sending me a signal. Interesting. What can I do about it? So here's the question I like to ask myself. Body, I hear you. How can I show you love? Body, I hear you. How can I show you love? So Taylor, ask your shoulder. How can I show you love? Because love is the most healing energy of all energies. So if there's part of you that is wanting to heal, love is what will help you heal. And finally understanding how to feel the sensations instead of intellectualizing the sensations. That is an entire unit in advanced body mapping, Taylor. I'm going to be totally honest. We spend an entire 2-hour class on differentiating between those. So here's the short version. If you have to negotiate with yourself in your head about what you're feeling versus what you're thinking about the sensation. You're not feeling the sensation. There's the abridged version. So that is a key part to this, is as you start to learn the language of your body, what can you do to tell your body, I am listening, without shame, without guilt, without excuses, and without blame, just coming from a place of curiosity, compassionate curiosity. How can I show you more love? What do you need? I need you to not stay up so late. I need you to go stand outside in the sunshine. I really could use some vitamin D. I need you to go get your hormones checked. I need you to find someone to give you a hug that doesn't require anything afterwards. Did you know, when I teach masculine and feminine energy, one of the things that I teach is that feminine is a we, masculine is a me, and women actually crave physical touch at a higher level than men do, because physical touch increases oxytocin, and all women's hormones thrive on oxytocin. And so women who have been touch deprived, or they can't receive touch without thinking that there's an unexpressed expectation, tend to have lower health than women who allow for positive touch without expectation. This is why when a group of women get together, the one who's the most deprived touches everyone. She's holding onto somebody's arm while she talks to him. She's leaning up against him on the couch without even realizing that she's leaning up against him, because we need that oxytocin for our hormones to thrive. Squirrel. Okay, so that is, I love finding out just how different and how beautiful women process their emotions, their hormones, their different needs that our bodies have. I think it's cool. Okay, thirdly, and probably my favorite part, the spiritual aspect to this. When I teach a lot of classes on intimacy, sensuality. I can't say the other word because Facebook hates it, but all of those different aspects to you of honoring your body. A big part to understand. The fastest way to get a woman to hate her body is to have her be ashamed of her sensuality. To have her have a misunderstanding of her worth as a woman because she has a vagina. So if you can get a woman to hate herself sexually, you can shut her off from God. And the reason is that is the fastest way to get a woman to hate her body. So if a woman hates her body, especially her sensual body, because sexual energy and creation energy are the same energy. So if you have fear or shame around sexual energy, you have fear and shame around creation energy and the fact that you were created through sexual energy. And so working with women to teach them how to love, honor, and accept their sensual side is a huge part of what I teach, because it's not about what's happening in the bedroom. It's about healing your relationship with Source, with God and Goddess, with your divine purpose and with your divine self. That's done through healing your relationship with your body and healing your relationship with sensuality. So because the body is the conduit in which spirit speaks, if you are totally shut down and numb, you're missing out on intuition. You're missing out on key parts that spirit wants to share with you. The word aroused it didn't start out with a sexual connotation. Arousal means to be awake and to be in tune with a high level of sensation. So in a sensual way, when you are aroused, smells, tastes, touch, all like things are brighter if they're light outside. The darkness becomes easier to see in because your pupils dilate. There are physiological things that happen to your body when you are in an aroused state. And really all that means is that you are highly aware of your surroundings. Arousal is a spiritual state. It means that you are highly aware of the sensations around you. The more aroused you live your life, and the more sensations you allow your body to feel, to taste, to touch, the texture, the temperature, the pressure, all of the sensations that you allow your body to feel are actually you tapping into the divine, tapping into the spiritual realm, tapping into your spiritual gifts. Spirit speaks through the body. And the more you allow your body to feel, the more you allow your body to sense, as in sixth sense. So healing your relationship with your body is actually a key component to healing your relationship to your spiritual gifts. And it is a beautiful part of feeling and knowing that you are whole and complete, that you are enough. But for so many of us, one of the reasons why we feel like we're not enough is because we've cut ourselves off from the head down, and we are disconnected to our heart's desires. We are connected to our source and our creation energy, because those are all housed in the body. Another thing on a chakra level, the chakras that help you feel safe, creative, and connected, the chakra that makes you feel like you're strong in your personal power, that connects you to other people through love, the one that allows you to voice your connection, none of those are in your head. So you only have 2 chakras in your head. And if you want to feel safe in your spiritual journey and practices, you have to connect to your physical body. Those spiritual sensations, that gut instinct, that moment where you get goosebumps on your arms because something feels really, really right or really, really off. That flip-flop you get in your stomach when you know you're supposed to walk to the front of the congregation and share truth. That is your spirit speaking to you. That is the spirit speaking to you. That is you connecting to your divine highest self. And that happens through the body, not through the head. And so I teach body mapping to connect women to loving and honoring their body, to understanding the language of their body, and to connect them with their own spiritual frequencies and gifts. This is a bold statement, and I'm going to say it anyways. I feel that so much. I've been living in survival mode and cut off all connection to my body. Exactly. Women who do not connect to their body will constantly feel unsafe. they'll have a constant feeling of anxiousness, because if your sensations are shut down, if your physical sensations are shut down, how are you supposed to have a heightened awareness of what's going on around you? And so your brain has to stay engaged because it's the only thing you're using. Where if you allow your body to also be engaged in sensation, you can relax. It's a very beautiful healing method that is extremely overlooked. It's one of the reasons why being in your body when you're in survival is so hard. Exactly. Being in your body, though, is what will get you out of survival, because you'll feel connected. You'll have a level of awareness that you don't have when you're only in your head. So this is one of the reasons why I started integrating breath work with the body mapping, because body mapping is, okay, based on the length of the tip of your finger to your thumb, that measures your eye. So based on those measurements, you have these personality traits and these physical, you have these different natural gifts, talents, and abilities. Breath work helps you integrate and get back into your body. You can do all the mindset you want to, but if you want to actually connect to that mindset while you're in a state of fight, flight, or freeze, you do that through your body, through feeling safe in your body and understanding that my emotional response is the bridge between my animal brain and my higher self brain. And physical emotional sensation has to be felt. It has to actually have a sensation. What texture is it? What feeling are you feeling in your body? Not just, I'm thinking that I'm sad. What does sadness feel like? Is it cold? Is it heavy? What does it feel like? A breath session with one of your students literally healed me. Yay! I'm finally feeling normalcy after 2 years, because integration comes through connecting the mind, the body, and the soul together. And you cannot connect the mind, the body, and the soul only through mindset. It's so in psychology is considered a top-down modality, meaning it's done in the head first, and then you try to get the physical to buy into it. And this is why forcing body language can help you change mindset. Breath work, tapping, EMDR, those are body-based, bottom-up modalities, meaning they integrate the change into the body so that the brain goes, oh, okay, and it helps you to heal faster. Literally, I could cry with gratitude. Taylor, I'm so happy. I love that. And this is why I teach this. There are so many people right now that need actual healing, not a Band-Aid. And I would rather teach myself out of business by giving my clients, my students, the tools that they need to help themselves heal. When I get to a point in my career that there are so many people that have learned what I've taught them that they're like, I don't need you anymore, I'll be like, thank goodness. People finally understand that they are their own healer. They have the ability through their breath, through their body, their mind, and their soul to create that alignment that creates healing. And so body mapping helps you understand the internal and external, the physical features, the proportions, the symmetry, all the messages that are inside that. Breath work is a way to help you integrate and change those. So tomorrow, I'm going to teach you about breath work, because not all breath work is created equal, and not everyone is familiar with breath work. Breath work is one of the fastest growing modalities in both metaphysical, woo-woo, and medical modalities in the world right now. There's a huge uptick in breath work, the understanding of it, the need of it, and what it is doing to help people. So tomorrow we're going to talk about breath work and some of the scientific part of it, but also what it can do to help you integrate and have that long-lasting change that many of us have been trying to get for years. Um, and having that bottom up modality is actually what makes transformation happen faster, because you don't have to convince your body tells your brain, hey, based on all of these sensations, this is what's happening, and your brain goes, okay. So breath, and there are ways to breathe that will allow your body to release messages that your brain has hidden. So you can use body mapping and then breath work to solidify an intention, or you can use breath work to bring things to the surface that you can then body map. And that's why I teach them together. I'm so glad I saw that you were live and could listen. This has been so good. I'm glad. And I hope that you guys join me tomorrow so that we can talk about breath work on Thursday at 1 o'clock. When I go live, we are going to do a live breath session, and then I want to do just some question and answers through the chat box. So as I talk about these things, if you have questions that come up, please write them down. And if you feel like they were not answered, that is what Thursday is for, because I really do want people to have these answers. The other thing Taylor asked, and then someone just private messaged me, and I don't know how to turn private messenger off while I'm doing a Facebook Live, so of course I read it because I don't stay focused very easily. But the question was, they were asking, what do you mean one of your students? Because Taylor asked. So I have people who are actually I have 21 students that just got certified in body mapping and breath work. And so if you are interested in having a breath session or getting body mapped, I have 20 practitioners that I can connect you with, or you can work with me. But I don't want to turn this into a commercial. That is an option that is available. I want to keep this very content oriented. I want to keep this very much just adding value to your lives and helping you start to shift and change your relationship with your body. So tomorrow, same time, just here live. I will leave all of these videos up. They're just going to go straight into the featured section. I know a lot of people were worried because I do things in the middle of the day and they're working. So I want to make sure that people constantly have access to this. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Thank you for investing your time in you, in your healing, and in learning how to love yourself, even if it's just a little bit more. Ladies, it is so important right now that women step into a healing role, because the world wants to heal right now. And the more women heal themselves, the more we heal the world. And that is part of my mission. Yes, have confidence, learn who you are, love who you are. Yes, learn the language and communication that your body has with you. Yes, tap into and unleash the amazing spiritual gifts we all have access to. But more importantly, heal. You are worth healing. You matter. And I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.